The government of the Philippines is the national government of the Philippines. It is governed as a unitary state under a presidential representative and democratic and a constitutional republic where the president functions as both the head of state and the head of government of the country within a pluriform multi-party system. The government has three interdependent branches: the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. The powers of the branches are vested by the Constitution of the Philippines in the following. Legislative power is vested in the two-chamber Congress of the Philippines. The Senate is the upper chamber and the House of Representatives is the lower chamber. Executive power is exercised by the government under the leadership of the President. Judicial power is vested in the courts with the Supreme Court of the Philippines as the highest judicial body. The legislative power is vested in the Congress of the Philippines, which consists of the Senate of the Philippines and the House of Representatives. The upper house is located in Pasay, while the lower house is located in Quezon City. Both are in Metro Manila. The district and sectoral representatives are elected for a term of 3 years. They can be re-elected but they may not run for a fourth consecutive term. Senators are elected to a term of 6 years. They can be re-elected but may not run for a third consecutive term. The House of Representatives may opt to pass for a vacancy of a legislative seat, which leads to a special election. The winner of the special election will serve the unfinished term of the previous district representative, and will be considered as one elective term. The same rule also applies in the Senate. However, it only applies if the seat was vacated before a regular legislative election. The current president of the Senate is Tito Soto, while the current Speaker of the House of Representatives is Lord Alan Velasco. Legislative power, national government, local government. The president and vice president are elected separately by national popular vote. The vice president is first in line to succession if the president resigns, is removed after impeachment, or dies. The vice president is usually, though not always, a member of the president's cabinet. If there is a vacancy in the position of vice president, the president will appoint any member of Congress as the new vice president. The appointment must then be validated by a 3/4 vote of the Congress. The current president is Rodrigo Duterte. Executive leadership, national government, local government. The judicial power is vested in the Supreme Court of the Philippines and lower courts established by law. The Supreme Court, which has a Chief Justice as its head and 14 associate justices, occupies the highest tier of the judiciary. The justices serve until the age of 70. The justices are appointed by the President on the recommendation of the Judicial and Bar Council of the Philippines. The sitting Chief Justice is Diosdado Peralta, the 26th to serve in that position. Other court types of courts of varying jurisdiction around the archipelago are the lower collegiate courts, regular courts, Sharia courts. Article 9 of the Constitution of the Philippines establishes 3 constitutional commissions: the Civil Service Commission, the Commission on Elections, and the Commission on Audit. The Philippine government or 3 of its branches are independently monitored by the Office of the Ombudsman. The Ombudsman is given the mandate to investigate and prosecute any government official allegedly guilty of crimes, especially graft and corruption. The Ombudsman is assisted by 6 deputies: the overall deputy, the deputy for Luzon, the deputy for Visayas, the deputy for Mindanao, the deputy for the armed forces, and the special prosecutor. The Philippines has 4 main classes of elected administrative divisions, often lumped together as local government units. They are, from the highest to the lowest division.